and welcome to the Homemade Podcast Sports. This is your host, J Pops. And welcome back to the Homemade Podcast Sports with your host, J Pops. Guys, ring, ding, 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 ding. We have some breaking news. Yes, it is a breaking news alert. First off, wide receiver Cam Brown, who I mentioned yesterday, that transferred to Minnesota, who I had said no. I had told you guys that he wasn't the guy that transferred. It was actually Dylan Wright. Well, things have been confirmed that I knew I wasn't going crazy. So Cam Brown did transfer. He just didn't go to Minnesota. He went to UCLA. Okay, but yes, Cam Brown did transfer. But that is not the breaking news. Okay, the breaking news that I have for you guys is this here: 4-star wide receiver Isaiah Santiago, I think that's his name. Isaiah Santiago, or Isaiah Sategna, something like that. But he's 5'11", crazy, in which I just had mentioned yesterday, where that's primarily like a running back that's like 5'11", and boom, pop up this 4-star wide receiver, highly 4-star wide receiver, by the way, top 300 player. And a top 300 commit. He was the number one player in Arkansas. But anywho, he committed out of the blue. I'm not sure if anybody had a timetable on when this guy was going to be making his commitment, because I know I didn't. I did not at all, and I know that for sure. But anywho, man, this guy committed. So I sat there and I watched some film. And just to let you guys know, like I say, he is a top 300 prospect. He is number, hold on, let me go through my notes here. Yes, I have notes, guys. Let me go through my notes. So he is nationally number 248 at his position. He is number 36. In the state of Arkansas alone, he's number 1. Now, from what I'm hearing, and I follow recruiting hard. Now, I may not know everything, you know what I mean, to say so far the recruiting, like the states they're coming from and stuff like that. But I saw that somebody had mentioned that this is Texas A&M 3rd straight year of getting a number 1 player from out of Arkansas. Now, with this commitment here, it says Fayetteville, Arkansas. But in reality, you know, it's a lot of Arkansas fans and a lot of other people that aren't Arkansas fans coming out and saying, hey, well, he's not even much from Arkansas. He's originally from Texas. So it's like you guys got a guy from Texas. That's you know, this information in there. Blah, 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 blah. The guy lives in Fayetteville, Arkansas, people. His dad is the coach. His dad is the track and field coach at Arkansas. At University of Arkansas. So, I mean, Arkansas was on his list, don't get me wrong, but he ultimately wanted to come back home to Texas A&M. Apparently he's from Texas anyway, so he wanted to come back home. Anywho, but with this guy here, man, I sat down and I watched that film, man. That guy is probably the only wide receiver that I know for sure that can run a hell of a bubble route screen and take off. He is one of the best bubble screen wide receivers you probably will ever see. All right, and you can quote me on that, and you can go and watch video on that too. But this young man here is going to be electric. He brings a explosive dynamic to that Texas A&M offense, and he brings a versatility. Also, he brings some more speed. I told you guys about Ukeep Brown. Ukeep Brown was a part of the 2021 class as an athlete. He's a 4-star athlete from out of Florida over there. He's bringing speed. So, I just wanted to give you a little bit on this guy. Also, man, that guy's a playmaker. He will go up and get the ball. He's not scared to go up and make the play. That's what I love about him. I told you about his dad. His mother, though, is the former LSU sprinter who competed for Jamaica in the 1992 Olympics in Spain. That there should let you know everything of why this guy is so fast. He is a dual sport guy, so he's a two-sport athlete in football and track and field. The guy that I believe that he's going to get really close to is Devin Achane. I'm going to say that once again. The guy who I think he's going to get really close to is Devin Achane. Why? Because Achane is a dual sport guy as well. He does track and field. All right, and football. So with that commitment alone, and them went from being number 8 because we had been jumped by Oklahoma, Penn State, and Texas. With that commitment alone, A&M has now jumped back up to number 4 in the national recruiting rankings. Now, of course, it's still early, but they are number 4, in which they were, before, Texas got their commitments. I'm sorry. Excuse me, guys. Let me put this down, man. This wind is blowing. Came from out nowhere. But ever since, UT, Oklahoma, and Penn State got their commits and stuff like that. But we're number 4 nationally. In the SEC alone, we're only number 3. It's still early. It's still early because Alabama will rise up, of course, later on in the year, and things of that nature. But, man, we're number 3 in the SEC. I keep on telling you guys, it is hard. You bet if you're going to be a head coach, you better recruit your ass off. And you better be able to win some battles. Okay? So, just want to give you a little bit of this here of who this guy will be playing with. Connor Wingman, young man, if you're listening. Boy, you about to have some hell of a wide receivers. I can tell you that much. So, in this class alone, this class is headlined by quarterback Connor Wingman, who's the dual threat, nationally 71. P.J. Williams, who's the offensive tackle, of course, nationally 99. Donovan Green, who's tight end, 4-star, nationally 117. Bobby Taylor, of course, that was one of our biggest commits, nationally 221, 4-star. Then this guy I just mentioned, Isaiah, he's a 4-star, nationally 248. Hunter Erb, who was not ranked at first, but nationally he's 362, and he's a 4-star recruit. And Noah Thomas, who's another wide receiver. So Noah Thomas as well, and also, man, be looking out for another guy, like I say, a guy that I'm really heavy on, and I think that we will get to continue to add to that cornerback class, is Julian, I think his name is Julian Humphreys. He's from out of Clear Lake, Texas over there, man. Be looking for him as well. He's a cornerback. He's a highly rated 4-star cornerback as well. I believe Bobby Taylor will reel him in. And Denver Harris. I keep on telling you, man, we need depth at that position bad. Okay? We don't have a lot of guys that's kind of pretty much known at that position at Texas A&M right now, man. I'm sorry. I hate to say it that way, but we have a lot of guys that's like unknown. But yeah, man, we need depth at that position. And we need depth for the future going forward. So be looking out for that huge commitment, I think, on April 1st, if I'm not mistaken. But that's about it, guys. Like I say, this is breaking news. Once again, I thank you guys tuning in to the Homemade Podcast Sports with your host, Jay Pops. Please be looking for something on Friday. And from now on, going forward, my videos will post just like how you've seen for the last couple of times at 4 p.m. Between our 4 p.m. and 4:30. But that will be on Tuesdays and Fridays only because, it's spring. And also, it's a lot of other podcasts going on. I like to watch Late Kick Live with Josh Payton, stuff like that. And it usually comes on Thursdays and Sundays. So try to give everybody the days. And now I have my set days. So on Tuesdays and Fridays between our 4 through 4:30. All right. I thank you guys once again for tuning in to Homemade Podcast Sports. This is your host, Jay Pops. Love all of you guys. Hashtag Giga Maggots, class 2022. It's on you guys now. And thank you guys for tuning in to the hashtag Homemade Podcast Sports. Please, guys, subscribe to the YouTube page and also follow me on Twitter at JPops, on Instagram at JPops, and also on Facebook at hashtag Homemade Podcast Sports. Thank you guys once again. Hashtag Giga Maggots.